All right, welcome. In this explainer, we're diving into a school fundraiser that has a really cool idea at its core. What if kindness was just as valuable as cash? We're going to break down exactly how the MSIS Raise Craze Fundraiser works. So let's be honest for a second. School fundraisers, they can be pretty stressful, right? There's all this pressure to sell things, to donate money, and sometimes it kind of highlights the differences within a school community. If you've ever felt that way, trust me, you are not alone. And the people behind this fundraiser, they're tackling that feeling head on. They actually acknowledge that separation between the haves and the have-nots, and their whole goal is to create an event where every single student can feel successful, can feel included.
So what's their solution? Well, it's a fundraiser called Raise Craze, and it's built on a totally different foundation than what you're probably used to. It's designed to be, a kinder way to give.
Okay, check this out, because here's the fundamental shift. Your typical fundraiser is all about selling stuff, collecting pledges. Raise Craze, it just throws all of that out the window. There's no selling. The focus is simply on kindness, which creates an opportunity for absolutely everyone to jump in. The philosophy here is, well, it's simple, but it's really powerful. Students ask for donations, right? And then they pay that generosity forward by going out and doing acts of kindness in their community. It's this awesome cycle where every single dollar raised creates a ripple effect of good deeds. And this is the core message, the whole point really. While not everyone can raise a ton of money, everyone can spread kindness. It just completely levels the playing field. It makes a student's capacity for compassion the thing that truly matters. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this actually work in practice? Let's break down the super simple steps for students and families to get involved and, start making a real difference. Getting started is super easy. First, you just register online. Then you use the platform to send out some emails asking for support. And as those donations start rolling in, that's when the real fun begins. You get to go out and perform your acts of kindness, and then you log them to share the impact with everyone. And just look at all the different ways you can earn entries for the weekly drawings. It is so not just about the total dollars raised. You get entries for registering and getting just one donation, for completing acts of kindness, for sending emails to the platform, even for getting a donation from another state. It's designed so that everyone has a bunch of different ways to win. And here's a really cool part. The whole school will get to see this kindness grow, literally. As students complete their good deeds, they'll add leaves to these kindness trees set up in the hallways. I mean, can you imagine watching those trees fill up? It creates this tangible, growing visual of the community's collective impact. So cool. All right, but of course, what's a fundraiser without some awesome incentives, right? Let's get to the fun stuff. We're going to look at how students, whole classes, and even the teachers get rewarded for all their hard work. So every single week, they're going to draw 10 winners for some really cool prizes. We're talking snacks, spiritware, water bottles, stickers, even gift cards and food coupons. All the stuff that gets students super excited and keeps that momentum going for the whole fundraiser. And check this out. I love how they reward the classes. There are 2 different ways for a class to win big. There's one track for the class with the most acts of kindness and another for the class that raises the most money. It makes sure that both generosity of spirit and financial support get celebrated equally. So smart. Now, for those high-achieving individual students, there's a fantastic grand prize up for grabs. Any student who raises $100 gets an entry into a drawing to win Beats or AirPods. That is a serious incentive, for sure. And hey, the teachers aren't left out either. To help encourage some friendly competition and get everyone involved, the teachers from the top $3 raising classes will each win a $50 Amazon grant for their classroom. That's awesome. Okay, so prizes are a ton of fun, but all this effort is really driving toward a much bigger purpose. Let's zoom out and look at the school's overall goal and see the incredible impact this whole thing is going to have on the entire MSIS community. So here it is. The big, ambitious, school-wide goal is $30,000. And that money, it goes directly back into making the student experience even better. We're talking funding for classroom grants and Mav time clubs, new equipment for recess, paying for the Beanstack subscription, and just providing more support for our amazing teachers. These are real, tangible improvements that benefit absolutely everyone. Now, to keep everyone motivated, there are some absolutely incredible school-wide rewards. The very first milestone is hitting that halfway point, $15,000. And if we as a community can reach that number, the entire school gets a super sweet reward for their effort. Ice cream at lunch for everybody. How cool is that? But what happens if we don't just hit the halfway mark? What happens if we smash that goal and hit the full $30,000?
Well, the reward is legendary. The whole school gets a Kindness Games field day, and they get to see a lip-sync battle between the principal, teachers, and staff. I mean, come on, that alone is worth the price of admission. So it really all comes down to this. This fundraiser is about so much more than just money. It's about building a culture of generosity, of service. And it leaves all of us with a really simple but powerful question to think about. How will you help kindness grow at MSIS?